on One Radio, the talk show podcast station, bringing you the current events and issues. All information and resources are based on the opinions of the host unless otherwise noted. This podcast may contain some quotations, images, and/or excerpts from copyright material. These uses fall well within the copyright doctrine of fair use. This is the News Report, and I am your host, Toni. Hi, and welcome everybody. I'm your host, Toni, and this is your news report. You are listening on One Radio, and I welcome you to all my new listeners and all of my day ones. Shout out to you. Let's get in some news here. So today we're going to be talking about a couple of things. One is some investigators are trying to understand the situation going on between an incident in Louisiana where an attorney claimed cell phone videos from incident involving WBRSO deputy has been deleted. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to get into a little bit of this issue with the Utah Police Department, who fires cop accused of mishandling explicit image. And along the lines of that, we have a little health news here. A hospital admits it can't find remains of a newborn baby after parents file lawsuit. So we're going to get it in, and we're going to jump right on in here, and we're going to start down in Louisiana. Now, the investigators, they are having a time understanding what's going on with this situation. West Baton Rouge Parish, Louisiana, Lori Wright's legal team is disgusted after her attorneys claim video of an incident with the West Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office she recorded on her phone July 17th is gone. We only have 2 pictures and 3 videos, said attorney Ron Haley. The 3 videos last a total of 4 seconds. What does that tell you? It tells you that the files were deleted. Wright says she was recording her son's arrest after he led deputies on a chase that ended at the Rax nightclub in Irwinville. While she does not excuse her son's actions, Wright says that the way Deputy Vance Mantranga, I might be screwing up his name, so you guys bear with me, treated her that night is unacceptable. I've never been arrested in my life, and I've never gone through anything like it, she stated. The woman claimed she was roughed up by the deputy, leaving a few bruises on her face. Her phone was then taken and held by the sheriff's office for 3 weeks. It was not until the 9 News investigators got involved that WAFB learned her phone had been handed over to the Attorney General's office. Now, 4 days after WAFB's Scotty Hunter started asking questions, she finally got it back, but there's not much left. Now, there's a statement that was left here, and it says, I'm disappointed again because the community definitely needs to be able to have confidence that our officers are going to be fair when it comes to investigations and just in their interaction with citizens, said attorney Ashley Greenhouse. Now, surveillance from the Rax nightclub shows Wright when she says she was recording the 2 deputies. 2 of them came up to her that night before one of them takes her phone. Another video recorded by Wright's other son shows Deputy Matranga appearing to record the woman as another deputy tries to explain why they were taking her phone as evidence. Later, Matranga appears to be using the phone and smiling. Wright's attorneys called the deputy's actions immature and senseless. Attorney Franz Bogart, who is not involved in the case, says the entire situation is troubling. I have to agree with him there. And it goes on to say sometimes the absence of evidence can be evidence. Bogarty said. We want to be able to trust the police, and candidly, when the police don't put themselves into a position to be trusted, that brings us all concern. And I must say, I do agree with that as well, because you don't feel safe. You don't feel like you trust them, so there's a big deficit right there. Now, because the agency does not have body cameras, whatever was recorded on Wright's phone could be the best possible evidence of what happened. When WAFB reached out to the sheriff's office during the first week of August, a spokeswoman said an initial review of the phone's records by the Attorney General's office revealed nothing had been deleted. The optics of the look horrible for the West Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office, said Bogart. And he went on to say, I'm not accusing the Sheriff's Office of doing anything to the cell phone, but I have a concern as a citizen as to the integrity of the preservation of that piece of evidence. Now, a spokeswoman with the Sheriff's Office says they're still waiting on an official report from the Attorney General's office in the following statement. We, too, are very concerned about these allegations. We will know more once we have the full report from the Attorney General's office, and all findings will be turned over to the district attorney. Now, Wright's team is now working with a forensic analyst to find out if they can recover any videos, and while they wait for those results, they believe something here just isn't right. And I must have to say I agree with that as well, because it sounds very fishy, and something is definitely not right about this. It's not right. The puzzles aren't fitting together like they should. But like he stated, sometimes the lack of evidence is evidence, and it makes perfect sense. Now, it's unclear how soon the Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office will have the full report from Attorney General's office in this case. But this case is definitely troubling because, it's a total lack of respect, a lack of actually doing the job. I could probably go on forever with that one. But bottom line is, there's a lot of things that are going on right now, and if police chiefs, and everybody else having anything to do with law enforcement, if you want respect, if you want to be treated fairly, you have to treat the citizens you have taken an oath to protect and serve. You have to treat them with that same kind of respect and dignity that you want. It's so easy to get beside yourself and do something without actually stopping and thinking about it first, putting someone else, in that position, and you seeing what it is for them. You end up just doing things, and then you want to have regret later when you are caught or something of that sort. And it does not work out well for either in that situation. Regardless of how it looks, it does not look well. And it's not going to go over well, because now, myself looking at the situation, I don't think I'll be going to West Baton Rouge Parish anytime soon. You can have it. If you're down there erasing evidence, no. And this does need to go. People need to know this. And, justice. Justice is sought for this. But I will say this. Now, there is something that you can do for my listeners. If you're going to record anything, videos or anything, make sure when you record them, it's fine if you want to keep it on your phone, but also have it sent to a backup, something online, to where if they don't know the information to get into your online storage system, the video cannot be deleted or erased or manipulated in any fashion. And I do applaud those other people who pulled out their cell phones and went to record. When a situation happens nowadays, everyone around should pull out their phone and start recording. And for everyone who has a phone who records things, make sure you have it backed up or linked up, or however you want to put it or call it. I'm not going to tell you what company to use to back it up, but you have to be more thorough about your own personal safety. Because as we're clearly seeing, there's a lack of security and safety and serving going on, or protecting for that matter. So we have to be vigilant. I say this all the time on all the shows. Being vigilant is what is going to help us to survive, maintain, and to be resilient, and to bounce back from any of these things. So use your cell phone, back them up. Anything you record, make sure it goes online somewhere into a safe zone, and make sure you have at least a person who you trust with the password. So when they find out what happens or however it goes down, they already know the password. They can go get it, and somebody else has the proof. So just be vigilant and about your own personal security. Now, moving along to the Utah Police Department. Now, they fire cop accused of mishandling explicit images. Now, a former University of Utah police officer accused of showing explicit photos of a student athlete before her murder has been fired from the Logan Police Department, and that's according to reports. Logan police officials took action Friday after the Utah Department of Public Safety issued a report this week that found Miguel DeRoss guilty of mishandling sensitive evidence in the case of 21-year-old Lauren McCluskey. The conclusions drawn in the DPS report are inconsistent with the high expectations and standards placed upon our officers by the community, Police Chief Gary Jensen stated. Darris became a Logan cop after serving as a member of the University of Utah Police Force. DPS found Darris acted inappropriately in showing the pictures to at least 3 male colleagues. One staffer recounted that Darris commented about getting to look at them whenever he wants. Darris had been assigned to investigate McCluskey's complaint that a man she had dated named Melvin Rowland was sextorting her. Rowland, a registered sex offender, fatally shot her in 2018 before killing himself. Her death has rolled into institution and raised serious questions about how it handled her repeated reports that the man was harassing her before her death, including extorting her with the images she had sent him when they were involved. Now, an attorney for Darris denied that his client bragged about the photos or made any appropriate comments. And it goes on to say, from my client's recollection, he never participated in that, Attorney Jeremy Jones said, adding that Darris showed the photos during a routine briefing, but only to ask how they should be handled and stored. He didn't smoke and joke about the photos at any time. See, we have to pay attention to wordplay. Wordplay has been played and toyed with and used in so many different directions, and if you don't watch it, you'll fall right into the little zone and you'll miss something. He didn't smoke and joke about photos at the time. This being a sensitive situation, speaking of a deceased woman, those are not sensitive words to use, and there was no thought in that. Just the fact that he said that his client's recollection, he never participated in that. In that what? If you're going to put that, in that what? If it's all in how you're doing things. I mean, it's a lot that the police are dropping the ball on, and it is evident. I was told as a child that time tells all, and whatever's done in the dark does come to the light, and a lot of things are coming to the light, especially about the police forces. And don't get me wrong, every police officer is not bad, just like every police officer is not good. It's a catch-22 when it comes to this life and in the news at the moment, because there's so much coming out about things that have happened previously before. But it's not hard to imagine that the character of this officer would even be in question. It's not surprising at all. So just really be alert. Be alert. Do the right things. If you're in law enforcement, just do the right thing. Don't do what you feel like the other officers want you to do. Do what's right. That can be a great start of a change. Now, moving along to the hospital. Hospital admits it can't find remains of a newborn baby after parents file lawsuit. Before I even go through this one, just the titling, the wording itself. They can't find the remains after parents filed lawsuit? Makes you think, makes you wonder what's going on. Now, a Florida couple has sued a Hillsborough County hospital on claims it lost the remains of their newborn son. Now, Catherine and Travis Wilson filed a complaint against St. Joseph's Hospital, Inc., doing business as St. Joseph's Hospital North in a Hillsborough County court on July 9th. The couple's son, Jacob Wesley Wilson, was born at the facility on February 25th, but died while still in the hospital's care on the 28th, according to the complaint that's been filed. Now, the facility transported his remains to Orlando Regional Medical Center for an autopsy, they said. When the procedure was done, the remains were returned to the defendant, wrapped in blankets and in a body bag. Now, this is what they told Catherine Wilson on March 5th. She could move forward with setting up a funeral, and she did so. But the hospital told her on the 11th that they could not find Jacob's body. And I know that has to be horrific for a mother to go through, a mother and father, and an entire family. Just the fact that you lose a baby and now the baby's body is MIA. That is a treacherous thing to have to go through. Now, the couple demands over $30,000 in damages, alleging negligent handling of the body and reckless infliction of emotional distress. Their lawyer, Douglas K. Bernetti, declined to speak about the case beyond telling the Tampa Bay Times he was having a private talk with the hospital's attorney. Now, Records Viewed saw that the hospital filed a motion to dismiss on Tuesday, but there is no dispute that they cannot find Jacob's body. Since first learning that Jacob Wilson's remains were missing, St. Joseph's Hospital has investigated all avenues and fully cooperated in all search efforts in hopes that they could be found. Now, the organization that manages the hospital said in a statement, "Our heartfelt sympathy goes out to the Wilsons for the loss of their child. We also deeply regret not being able to account for the remains. St. Joseph's leadership and all personnel in our morgues are committed that this unforeseen situation will not happen again." It's questionable. It's really questionable. There's a lot that's questionable. Procedure and so many other things. Someone has something to hide. Someone has secrets. Something is going on. And as new information comes in for this story, I will definitely update. But like in everything else, you're going to have to really look out for yourself these days in so many different ways, because the hospital's losing bodies. The police are mistreating its citizens. It's just a lot going on, and more will come about with this, and I will definitely get back to you guys and let you know. I'll make this one of the following stories so I can do an update on it. But just everyone, be careful, be vigilant in knowing your surroundings, knowing who you deal with. Wear a mask so we can get this coronavirus numbers down and hopefully be able to do away with it, so we can return to whatever normal is. So, this has been your news report. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your love and support. Much love and respect to you all. Be safe, be smart, Do your research. Know what's going on. So until next time, have a great night and day. You have been listening to On One Radio, the talk show podcast station, bringing you the current events and issues. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my news report. I wish you the best and have a wonderful day and night.